everyone, it's Elizabeth here. So today I just want to share some thoughts on how or why you should be an investigator in your own life. So being an investigator, it's almost like being a scientist. You're starting off with some form of hypothesis that you have about your life or a problem or a health concern, and you're really diving deep within your own psyche and your mind, body, spirit, and soul to be able to figure out where the root of these problems are coming from. So a lot of the ways that I tend to solve issues in my life, I am a big picture thinker. I tend to see things from a bird's eye view, is that I start to look at problems or situations like a Google map. So for example, if you go into Google and type in the address of your home, you're going to go ahead and see your house. When you start to click kind of the negative button to pull away and out, you're going to go ahead and see maybe the house in the yard. You click further away, you're going to see your neighbors. You click further away, you're going to see your development, the home development. Click further away, the neighborhood. Click further away, the city, the state, the country. And then further, you're going to go out, and then you end up seeing like the globe. So when you're looking at solving your own problems, you have to start with the why. So there is a why behind everything, especially behind human psychology and human movement and human behavior. So why are you reaching out to that tub of ice cream? Or why are you chronically having one-night stands? Or why are you addicted to substances? There is a why behind everything, and when you ask that question, why, when you find an answer, you then ask why to that answer. So for example, I want to lose weight. Why? Because I don't like the way I look in my clothes. Why? Because I don't feel good about myself. I feel unhealthy when my clothes are tight. Okay, why? It's because I've had men tell me that my body weight is not attractive. Okay, why? So you keep breaking down the why behind these answers to really find the root cause or the reasoning behind your actions, your thoughts, and or your behaviors. When you are a scientist in your life, you're really trying to dissect and get to the nitty-gritty details of certain things. And a lot of times people have to look back all the way to their childhood and look back at the imprints that our parents have caused, as well as our culture and our society. I do believe every human being that's born on this planet is their own special human being that has a glorious amount of strengths and great things about themselves, but they're also presented with a handful of weaknesses and challenges that they are meant to overcome in this lifetime. That kind of comes from a more spiritual standpoint and spiritual point of view. But when you start to look back at the root causes of certain things, a lot of it are the imprints that have been caused from our parents or from our, societal peers and behaviors. And today, the younger generation growing up, they're exposed to a lot more thanks to the internet as compared to kids that grew up in the 50s who might have been bullied by, the class bully, but, they didn't have bullying on social media, and they didn't have to worry about all these likes on a photograph and things like that. So when you are becoming an investigator or a scientist, you really have to come into this with a non-judgmental and an unbiased point of view. We really have to stop blaming people for certain things. There are legitimate situations where we do and can blame other people for certain problems that have happened in our life. But at some point, we have to start taking certain responsibilities for ourselves. And when you can start to look at the situation, it's almost like you're exiting your body. You're exiting your situation, and you're looking at it as if you are to look in the mirror, or the same as if you're in a movie theater. You're sitting in the seat and you're watching the movie play on the projector screen in front of you. If you can be that participant watching your life from an outside perspective, this is going to help you become an investigator to understand why you do certain things or how you react and behave. For example, it's going back to the childhood behaviors. If you become so visceral and explosive to your partner or spouse in an argument, that might be a learned behavior because your parents both yelled at each other, and when you were a child, that's what you saw. You saw your parents fighting and arguing, and that is a learned behavior that's carried over into adulthood that is showing yourself and or your partner that the way that you handle your emotions or a fight and an argument is not through a diplomatic manner, but through kind of an impulsive explosion of your emotions and or your anger. I really believe that nobody, I don't believe this, I know this. Because of being a health coach and a personal trainer, nobody knows what's going on inside of your head besides you. And if you believe in God, God knows what goes on inside of your head and your heart, as well as you. So for example, if you meet somebody who's really good for you, but you're just not into them, you might be stringing them along just because you just know that they're good for you, but you have no intentions of actually offering them anything of substance or offering them, a committed relationship and things like that. So we know these things. Sometimes people are so blocked by the drama of their life, or they're blocked by substances or from certain negative behaviors in their life that they don't really know what's going on in their subconscious. A lot of your subconscious is what a lot of your soul and your higher self is kind of telling you or calling you to do. And a lot of times we just don't listen to that. Like our logic kicks in and then we kind of question our intuition and or the drivers. So I think it's really important when you're trying to become a scientist to figure out your own problems is that you have to really listen to that inner voice that is speaking to you inside of your head, because a lot of that messaging comes from your intuition. And a lot of these things can come through positive or negative life experiences. Just hopefully, we go through life not disrupting other people's emotions or, playing with people or toying them along. So if you want to become an investigator, you have to ask why, and you have to really exit yourself from your situation and try to look at your life or your life patterns from an outside point of view. I see this a lot, especially in relationships, now that online dating is like the new thing and it's kind of like we've entered the hookup culture. A lot of people are really drawn toward exciting, charismatic people. As a female, let's just use an example as like the party boy. The party boy is a really fun person to be around. They're upbeat, they know how to have fun, they're kind of suave, they can say a lot of great things. But really long term, they're pretty damaging to your mind, body, and soul. They don't really have any substance that can give you the tender love and care that's what you're desiring on the inside. And sometimes we find that through a person who is a little more simple and a little more whole and complete on the inside, but a lot of people find those individuals to be boring. So what happens is that you end up making the same mistakes by choosing the same type of toxic partners, hoping that life will change with the same type of dude, but it's not going to. I mean, that's the definition of insanity. It's just like you kind of hope that the same situation or pattern kind of corrects itself. And it's like, well, maybe you just need to start choosing better partners. So you have to go into kind of a little bit of an analysis mode. And this is where you tend to have to step out of the emotion and step out of the bias and the judgment that you have. I'm quirky. I believe in astrology. I'm an Aquarian. I can look at this stuff from a higher point of view, and I can be kind of cold and detached when I look at these things and just kind of like a queen of swords, just kind of say it how it is. I mean, that's taken a lot of time and practice to be able to do that. I don't think I was like that in my 20s so much, but like I can really look at my life situation and really admit the things that I've done wrong and or the things that have driven me to do, I don't know, certain things. So if you want to become an investigator in your own life, I really recommend these tips. I think the only person who can solve your problems are yourself, and that inner desire and that inner drive has to come from you. And then we use different tools and modalities to help us along our way, such as support systems, counselors and therapists, support groups, maybe online courses, yoga, meditation, all of these different types of things, eating healthier, exiting yourself from, chronic party scenes and things like that. I hope this makes sense. I hope that you guys learned a little bit of something from this, and definitely feel free to share some thoughts below in the comment box, and please subscribe below if you can. Help me build this channel, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.